Every morning, for as long as he could remember, Alex's first thought was a heavy sigh. It wasn't that his life was bad. He had a decent job, a nice apartment, and friends who cared about him. On paper, he was doing just fine. But every day felt like a repeat of a grayscale movie he was forced to watch. The alarm would blare, and a wave of dread would wash over him. Another day of meetings, emails, and the hollow feeling that something was missing. He'd scroll through social media, seeing curated snapshots of other people's perfect lives, exotic vacations, surprise proposals, new homes. It all just made his own life feel even more mundane, more colorless. He tried everything to shake the feeling. He bought new gadgets, binged new shows, even went on a solo trip he thought would change everything. But the feeling always came back, like a stubborn shadow he couldn't outrun. He was stuck, miserable, in the middle of a life that was supposed to be good. One rainy afternoon, seeking shelter in a quiet local library, Alex found himself sitting across from an elderly man named Samuel. Samuel had kind eyes and a warmth that seemed to radiate, a stark contrast to the gloom outside and inside Alex's head. They struck up a conversation, and Alex, surprisingly, found himself opening up about the persistent emptiness he felt. He explained how he had everything he was told would make him happy, yet happiness felt like a distant shore he could never reach. Samuel listened patiently, then smiled a gentle, knowing smile. He didn't offer grand advice or complicated solutions. Instead, he shared a simple story. He spoke of a time in his own life when he felt lost, adrift in a sea of his own discontent. He said, "Happiness isn't something you find, my boy. It's something you build brick by brick every single day." He then told Alex about a simple practice, something that took no more than 5 minutes each morning. The next day, Alex woke up with the same familiar dread. But then he remembered Samuel's words. Skeptical but desperate for any kind of change, he decided to try. He sat up in bed, closed his eyes, and instead of reaching for his phone, he reached for a notebook. Samuel's advice was simple. Before your feet touch the floor, before the world rushes in, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things you are grateful for. Just 3. His first attempt felt awkward. He scribbled down my bed, coffee, and the weekend is coming. It felt silly, forced, but he did it. And the next day, he did it again. The sun shining through my window, the smell of rain, a funny text from a friend. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, something began to shift. The practice forced him to scan his life, not for what was missing, but for what was already there. It was like tuning a radio, slowly turning the dial away from the static of his complaints and toward a clearer frequency. Days turned into weeks. The list of gratitudes grew longer, more specific. He started noticing things he'd always taken for granted. The warmth of a hot shower, the taste of his favorite meal, the sound of laughter from the apartment next door. These small moments, once invisible, started to pop with color. He was no longer just going through the motions. He was actively looking for the good. The daily hunt for gratitude was rewiring his brain. One morning, about a month into his new routine, Alex woke up before his alarm. He lay in bed, and for the first time in years, his first feeling wasn't dread, it was .com. He picked up his notebook and wrote, "Waking up feeling peaceful." That was a big one. He realized the misery hadn't been his life. It had been his focus. He had been so fixated on the big, cinematic moments of happiness he saw online that he had missed the thousands of small, beautiful moments happening right in front of him. This small shift had a ripple effect. At work, instead of seeing his colleagues as distractions, he started appreciating their help and humor. He found more joy in his hobbies, no longer using them as an escape, but as a genuine source of pleasure. His conversations with friends became deeper because he was more present, more engaged. He was the same person in the same life, but his entire world felt different. It felt brighter. Alex ran into Samuel again a few months later, back at the same library. He rushed over to thank him, to tell him how those 5 simple minutes had completely changed his perspective. Samuel simply smiled and said, "I didn't give you anything you didn't already have. I just gave you a map to find your own treasure." The truth is, life is full of challenges, and no one is happy all the time. But what Alex learned is that joy isn't a destination. It's a practice. It's the conscious choice every single day to look for the light, even when it's dim. It's building a foundation of gratitude so strong that when the storms of life come, you have a shelter to weather them in. It's not about ignoring the bad, but about actively appreciating the good, no matter how small it may seem. So, if you ever feel like Alex did, lost in the gray, maybe it's time to try a new morning routine. It doesn't require money or a lot of time. Just a notebook, a pen, and 5 minutes. Ask yourself, what are 3 small things I can be grateful for today? You might just be surprised at how quickly the colors of your own life start to shine through. It's a small change, but as Alex discovered, the smallest changes can make the biggest difference. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that aims to inspire and uplift. See you in the next video.